It's a big day tomorrow with A-level and T-level results coming out, and it can be a nervous time for many young Londoners and parents alike. So what happens if your grades aren't quite what you'd hoped for, or you do better than expected? Well, we can ask careers advisor Gina Visram, who is here to guide us through. It's really good to have you with us. So this is about preparation, if you like, for tomorrow. So shall we start with grades that are lower than expected? What are the options? What do people need to be prepared for if that happens tomorrow?
Well, at this stage, it's all about thinking, what are the different scenarios? So you're not going to manifest badly at this point. Your grades are your grades and they're decided. So it's really worth thinking about, well, what are some of the other universities that I was interested in? Where around the UK might I want to live? I mean, of course, it would be great if everybody got into their first choice university. We know that that doesn't happen. So it's about really being ready to think about what are some of the options. And actually, it could be worth thinking about that tonight. Thinking about, okay, so where are some of the other places I can see myself? Because that will put you in a good position to take some decisive action tomorrow if needed.
And we know not everyone is thinking about university, even if they're taking A-levels, but of course T-level results also out tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the really exciting things at the moment is the varied pathways that are available. So of course there are traditional university routes, there are university routes where you're doing a placement year. There are lots of options, and apprenticeships and degree apprenticeships. So it's really all about expanding our definition of what being successful is. And if you can expand that definition, you will absolutely find your route, regardless of what your results are tomorrow.
Some optimism there, which we like. And what about if, fortunately, your grades are even higher than you expected?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, that same piece of advice of just imagining where you can see yourself. If you were to get higher grades than you anticipated, what's that university that you would have wanted to go to? What's that job you would have wanted to apply for? And ultimately, what would really help today is to be ready to pick up the phone tomorrow. Because whether your grades are higher or whether they're lower, there's a real chance that you might need to pick up the phone to a university and give them a call.
So in that respect, what resources or helplines should people have sort of ready on the day itself tomorrow?
So one of the things I want to assure everybody is that your schools and your colleges are there on hand to support you. So please don't think you're in isolation. Ultimately, they will support you to go online, to look at the options for adjustment if your grades are better, clearing if your grades aren't quite what you wanted them to be. And you can put in some phone calls with support. Universities aren't going to want to hear from mum or dad. They're going to want to hear from you. So they can be ready in that respect.
Good point. And just briefly before we go,
sure.
As a careers advisor, what's the one piece of advice that you would give to every student opening their results tomorrow?
I would let every student know that they are enough just as they are. And that's even if their grades aren't currently reflecting their potential. So we all have squiggly careers. So that is a really useful phrase to remember, thanks to the book. And so whatever route it is that you take, it can be a really positive one for you. And you will probably look back on this moment and be like, it happened as it was meant to, regardless of what the emotions are on the day. Okay. Wishing everybody good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. To all students tomorrow, and parents and guardians should remember that as well. Gina Visram, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.